a technical report about the most recent addition to our fleet, RQCX-3 Raven. We're going to show you what's under the bonnet and talk to you about how we made it. Raven gave us some trouble right from the get-go. We had a few crashes and some missteps before we finally got it to where we want it to be. It started out as a Y6, and we actually flew it briefly in that configuration, but it turns out the Y6 has significantly less thrust than an equivalent Hexacopter. Well, one of our goals as the Roswell Flight Test Crew is to be able to assist our friends in the public safety community. And the thing about emergencies is they don't always happen when it's sunny and 72 outside. Consequently, when we were building Raven, we decided to add this weatherproof housing. Now this is just a Rubbermaid bowl, a 13-cup take-along, and so far it's worked out admirably. Obviously it's built with a watertight seal. The lid is on the bottom here, and then this is the body of the bowl itself. In this demonstration, we're spraying it down in a car wash. To tell you the truth, it makes me a little queasy putting a sprayer at that much electronics, but as you can see, the weatherproof housing is holding. Up front, we've got our FPV cameras. First of all, the ubiquitous GoPro and its waterproof housing. Techenstein took a great deal of care to cut just a small hole just large enough for the video cable, so when we're flying in inclement weather, we can seal that up with a little wax. And then up here, we've got a low light camera. I can switch these while I'm airborne, one to the other. The idea there is twofold. One, we might be operating in low light, but two, if the GoPro runs out of battery, which actually happened to me once in the air, and it wasn't a happy day, I can just switch over to the low light camera and bring the bird home safe. Another consideration with Raven for use in public safety has been the ability to remotely deliver a payload, and to support that we've got a servo here to create a drop mechanism. The idea there is that we might be able to deliver medical supplies to someone who's perhaps been found as the subject of a search and rescue mission, but the teams haven't been able to get to them because perhaps they're down a gorge or stuck on the other side of a ravine. Or alternatively, in a tactical situation, you might be able to ferry out a small family radio service handset to a suspect who, for example, otherwise can't talk to the negotiators. Our friends over at X-Pro Heli right here in Oregon provided us with this undercarriage. It's made of aluminum, and it gets bent up a lot during a hard landing or a crash, but that actually has proven to be quite an advantage. It essentially acts as a kinetic shock absorber. The aluminum, as you can tell, it's warped and bent and a bit of dirt on there even, but it's really held up well, and we can bend it back into more or less good shape, which that works for us, but it's probably spared the craft a heck of a lot of damage.
Raven's airframe is made from G10 fiberglass. Normally only available in quad from Hover Things, you can request it from Tom to make you a hex frame. Essentially, it's the same limbs, just hooked into a different frame there, so you can make a Y6 or a hex or whatever. We are using currently APC 1047 props on this one. These are a little bit more durable than the props we were previously using, and they are attached to Cobra 2217/16 1180 kV motors. Under the hood here, we have a video transmitter, currently 5.8 GHz. We have our Eagle Tree logger, Eagle Tree OSD. This of course is our GPS. It has Velcro on top. This of course is our GPS. It has Velcro on top, so we can secure it. Okay, the ESCs here are Hobbywing Platinum Pro 40M. A little bit overkill, but you know, Lucid likes it that way. Took the liberty of caulking all the connections here, so water shouldn't get in. Inside here is the brain, currently a multi-lead, using a Paris board. And this little guy here is a camera switch. It allows us to switch back and forth from the night vision camera to the GoPro. We chose this particular receiver because it allowed for multiple little satellites, which are mounted below a couple of the motors. And what you can't see is where all the wires connect together below underneath. Essentially, they're all soldered together at one central point, and we have a few accessory leads coming off for things like lights, video equipment, whatever. It's a convenient thing to stand it on when you're looking at it. Yeah. Also, we've mounted here another GoPro attachment, just as an accessory. Ironically, that doesn't affect the fiberglass. It runs just fine with the extra weight in that one limb.
Well, that's it. We appreciate you taking a few minutes with us to learn about Raven.
Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
All right, fly safe.